I'm Roscoe, and welcome to EV Marketplace on a Wednesday night. If it's 6:30 on a Wednesday night, it's EV night. And thanks for joining us watching Facebook Live or on YouTube. And if you're watching on Catch Up, thanks for joining us because we have got a massive night tonight. So strap yourselves into the EV train because a few firsts tonight. Not only, well, we're talking about chargers for the very first time. Don't normally talk about chargers, but there's some great news. And we had a chat to Riz Akhtar last night about a few different things, and they did some great work on a few celebrations on the public charger, DC charger front. So I thought we'd take a close look at that and listen to Riz and see what he's got to say. Then later on in the show, we spent a fantastic session doing a pre-recording. Riz is off to China tonight for another fantastic trip to see what's going on there. But last night, he spent some time with us to have a look at some end of financial year deals. And hey, there's plenty of them. So you've only got a week to go. There's some limited conditions, and we don't normally talk about new EVs, but tonight we thought we'd make an exception. Some fantastic research because all these will be coming to the used EV market at some stage in the future, as we'll find out. There's a fantastic range, and I can barely keep up sometimes. So doing this research is fantastic for me. And look, it's really keeping the used EV market really honest as well. Some great deals, and it's keeping those used EV prices in check. So they've been high, they're coming back, and we'll have some further updates about the used market shortly as well. So stay tuned for your usual dose of EV deals, data, and discovery. I'm Roscoe, and hey, let's kick it off. We couldn't ignore this one with some breaking news. And of course, the industry that never fails to let's get rid of that. I can't. The industry that never fails to give us something on a Wednesday morning. This time it's half what you paid, EV time bomb set to smash Oz. Well, thanks to Newcorp, the Barefoot Investors got on board. You might have seen this article already this afternoon. We couldn't help ourselves. A few viewers let us know about it. We saw it ourselves. Take a look at this video first and just to see what the hell they're talking about.
Second-hand EVs are already cheap, but experts are predicting screaming bargains when leases under a government discount expire over the next few years. The electric car discount was introduced by the Albanese government in 2022. It exempts some EVs from fringe benefits tax when acquired through a novated lease that typically lasts between 3 to 5 years. Put simply, it allows employees to pay for the car and its running costs directly from their pre-tax salary, saving thousands of dollars in income and vehicle taxes each year. The discount has proven wildly popular, with more than 130,000 EVs acquired under leases with the FBT exemption over the past 3 years. 40% of all EV purchases. It's been so popular, in fact, that the government will phase it down from next year after tax revenue losses soared far beyond initial forecasts. But the discount has already reshaped Australia's car market, and it might make EVs cheaper than anyone expected. Barefoot investor Scott Pape warned this week that drivers who took advantage of the discount would end up with a car worth half what you paid for it at the end of the lease. Most cars would be dumped on the market in 3 to 5 years, Barefoot argued, with second-hand buyers getting a bargain due to the influx of supply. Not everyone agreed with Mr. Pape's view though. Brendan Green from Pickles said second-hand EV prices had actually surged this year as Aussies were driven into the market by higher petrol prices.
The fuel crisis caused EV prices to spike. For instance, we sold the largest amount of EVs we've ever sold in the month of March 26. We saw EV searches on our website increase 160% from what they were the month prior. We saw Model 3s jump in price by $12,000 from what they would make in 1 week into the next. We had 100% clearance rates. So the used EV market has certainly grown significantly through the fuel crisis.
Mr. Green expected used EVs to come onto the market in a staggered fashion, and he didn't foresee a mountain of cars coming up for sale all at once. On the flip side, Jerry Cam, who owns Bayside Brothers Motors in Victoria, said he did expect EV prices to drop in the coming years.
I do think Australian market at this stage still not very convenient for you to charge the EV. if you want to do longer distance. Let's say, like me, I like road trip. I often go to Sydney, Adelaide. If I'm having an EV, probably I will a little bit stressed. So I would believe the people who trade in or sell their petrol car or diesel car back in March and April, maybe even after a year or two, I think they will sell their EV, because at this stage, Australian market is still not very suitable for EV. It's simple economic question. When supply is more than demand, then the price will drop.
Mr. Cam said he currently has a 2023 Tesla Model 3 for sale for $32,000, which generally sells for more than $70,000 brand new. So it's listed for less than half of its original price, and it's already been on the lot for more than a month. He added that,
Okay, enough of the bullshit meter. It's just gone off the dial tonight. Unbelievable. And of course, this article came up on Newcorp's site, and here's the headline: exact date EV prices set to implode as novated leases end, triggering bargains for second-hand buyers. This is just unbelievable. They got three different views, and I spoke to Brendan this afternoon. He put it all out there. He put the case, and still, despite his positivity about the result, that's the headline that they came up with. They asked Jerry Sells, who's got one EV Model 3 that was never 70,000, that's retail, that he can't sell, which sounds about right in terms of price. We didn't get too many details, and it's a bit more of an indictment on Jerry, sadly. It's still sitting on his lot after a month. So never mind. This is fantastic. And look, how the Barefoot Investor, I don't know him, and we haven't got the comment. They sadly did not ask Roscoe from AmazingEV to comment, and perhaps they would have got more of a balanced perspective. Barefoot Investor's response is confusing, because one would have thought, as an advocate for the consumer, that he would have been happy that EVs would have been a bit cheaper and that people were getting a deal. So his stance and is a bit strange, and they call him the Barefoot, and they refer to him as Barefoot. So having a look at the details, it has been a fantastic success. Used EVs are actually also they are also viable for the FBT exemption as well. It has been a runaway success. It has driven, all that's true. 40% odd, I think it's close to 45, more closer to 45, so maybe the numbers are higher. So there's maybe 150,000, 140,000 EVs in the last 3 years. Bearing in mind that we're only battling on at less than 8 or 9% every month. And welcome Don, welcome Joe, and welcome Sensei. Coming at just a fantastic time as we just unfold this article, because most of the data is correct up until the point where the existing market is really only about 7,000 listings. And yeah, it disappeared to nothing in March, but normally we're ticking along at about 7,000 listings, 8,000 listings. Sales were running at about 3,000 to 4,000 a month, on track for somewhere near 35, 40,000 per annum. 35 last year, on track for 30, 40, 45, just EVs, 40,000 EVs. Bear in mind, there's 2.2 million used cars sold every year. So 1.5% of the total of cars sold. So yes, these cars will be coming to market. There's no doubt about that. But if they come on, as Brandon said, in a reasonably linear fashion, then they're coming on at a roughly 3,000, 3,500 per month. Some of them will be absorbed already by trade-ins. Some of them will be sold through auctions. Pickles will be taking care of some of the problems. I'd love to see another 2,000 or 3,000 cars on the used EV market at the moment. Certainly we didn't have enough cars when the peak hit, but in normal terms, I'd love to see the growth, because the prices will adjust and they will be absorbed. So it's all fine except for the headlines and the conclusions based on the chats that they had, because as they come off leases in the next year or so, or 2 years and 3 years now, certainly they will be adding to the stock. They'll probably increase the stock of used EVs by 50 odd %. But as far as the whole market's concerned, it's a minuscule amount, and we are expecting that growth. We're planning for that growth, and Amazing EV as a market hopes to play a role in that as well. That we want to see the growth of used EVs. We want to see affordable EVs, and some of the numbers being bandied around are just plain wrong. So I don't know how the Barefoot Investor got involved. I know how Jerry got involved. They didn't ask me, but hey, what do you guys think? Unbelievable. This just came through this afternoon, this story. Exact date, EV prices set to implode as novated leases end. Yeah, well, EV prices will certainly not implode. EV prices will stay a good value, and that would impress any Barefoot Investor client. Brendan Green's and Pickles and other auction houses will swallow those cars up. There is high demand on the dealer market as smaller dealers and bigger dealers continue to trade in used EVs. The private markets like Amazing EV, car sales, Facebook continue to do fantastic trade. So I can only see this market going up. We were expecting it to be going up. This is where we're expecting the stock to come from. It's not a disaster scenario. It's a great good news scenario. So look, in counter news, we saw this article about charging. Moving as we celebrate that Tesla opens 1,000 supercharger actual bays in Australia with a new design, especially for their bay in Byron Bay. So, hey, what do you guys think of that article from Newcorp? It's amazing. Have a look at that. And speaking of Stan, we might have a surprise guest on. We'll just see how he's traveling today. We're not sure if he's coming in. We know he's hit the Northern Territory. He's just crossed the border today, I think. So we might have an update from Stan as well later in the show. We'll see if he calls in. But this news, this was a very interesting article from The Driven. Riz Akhtar wrote it. We love all Riz's work, so we thought we'd ask him about it last night as well. Hey, Riz, good to see you again. You've got to admire what Tesla have done in the supercharging area. It's made a huge difference. In fact, it's probably built the backbone of the EV market here in Australia. How do you see it?
Yeah, long time coming, right? They've sort of the first entrant when it came to reliable high-speed charging, and here we are, almost 10 years later. I think they've got 155 odd sites and over 1,000 fast charging bays that are currently in operation, which is pretty remarkable, and they're going bigger and better.
This is phenomenal. This one, they've just opened their 1,000th bay or charging station, charging unit in Byron Bay. Fancy paint scheme on this one as well. Very impressive indeed. I really like that. And again, a few comments on Twitter or X about its location, I guess. It's got to be for the tourist market, that's for sure. But really impressed with that one, and good to see that, they're doing the work there. I can't believe that, really that they've come so far so quickly. Did you ever expect to see this sort of commitment from Tesla, and maybe hopefully looking forward to some commitment from some of the other OEMs as well?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're they've always sort of led in that space, particularly around charging, and we've seen them go from 100 sites under 2 years ago now, which they opened in South Australia, to over 155 sites. So, we're talking about 50+% jump in just under 2 years. It's not that long ago where they said, that the whole charging operation was going to shut down because of some misleading report.
That's right. When were they? Then when were they threatening that a few years ago at some stage? Yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten all about that. And granted, with the government help, there's been big New South Wales government help here and New South Wales, Australia, and what they've put on 50 sites in the last 2 years. It is phenomenal, really. Still.
Yeah, I mean, this is, hundreds of bays. I think that's really sort of reliable charging infrastructure. And a lot of it's open to non-Teslas as well. So it's not just a Tesla-only thing. But 1,000 stalls out of the 82-odd thousand that they have across the world. Definitely by far the biggest, most globalized sort of charging network. So it's good to see the priority in Australia still there. And it really is that backbone when it comes to long distance EV charging.
As a Tesla owner myself, I only charge with Teslas. I'm a bit one-eye when it comes to charging, and I really only charge with Tesla charging stations. So haven't had some of the experiences others have had, but yeah, they're so reliable, so convenient, and there's so many of them now. Yeah, it just makes a huge difference, and that's where it just amazes me when some of these articles, particularly as EV numbers grow and the spike or the big takeoff that we had a couple of months ago in numbers and sales, which I'll ask you about it again, whether you think that's how June is tracking, where there's been a lot of criticism of the number of charges and particularly some events like Easter where people are queuing up and that sort of thing. But your business, Carloop, specializes in data, EV data, charging data, and what you've researched is that doesn't appear to be the case. There's actually only a few occasions where there's actually a problem, yeah?
Yeah, thanks, Roscoe. I mean, yeah, Richard Laxton, who works in the team, he's sort of the data man when it comes to charging data and utilization across the entire network in Australia. And, what we're seeing is that majority of the times the charges are available. And, we've sort of been tracking them over a period of time. And what we see is there's so many more sites opening, such as that Tesla one that we spoke about at Byron Bay as well. But the number of bays is definitely growing at a pretty rapid pace, projected to be over 6,000 bays by the end of this year.
Yeah. I love this chart that you guys put together. Yeah, again, we've touched on it a number of ways already, but this showing it graphically, the change between 2018, 8 years ago. This is outright DC charges, not just Tesla, isn't it, around Australia?
Yes, this is all public DC charges,
Yeah, and just to differentiate again, DC charging is the fast charging available that pumps direct current straight into your EV. It's a DC battery, so it gets it in as fast as it possibly can. Speeds have increased. We haven't got what we've got in China for sure, but it's getting to a comfortable situation where it's pretty convenient, and with the numbers out there, and the experience is pretty convenient to the extent where now in 2026, it's just, there's not much of Australia that's not covered, and look, someone will pull me up there, but the Eastern Seaboard and the Western Seaboard it's incredible, really.
Yeah, quite a lot has gone. I mean, it's a combination of private sort of fund investment as well as public funding. And as the number of EVs we sort of touched on earlier grows by tens of thousands every month, more and more will be used, and hoping that it keeps up pace with the total number of EVs.
Yeah,
of course, EV drivers in 2026 are expecting to be, expecting the infrastructure to work and be reliable, and hopefully not waiting quite a bit of time when it comes to those really busier periods. I think it's just better to be prepared and planned. If you can charge from a non-public charging station, then do so. And definitely the charging infrastructure is growing. But we don't want to be overbuilding, because then the infrastructure would not, would be vacant a lot more, because we're building for a peak in Easter and New Year and Christmas period, if you know.
And this is the spike that your data revealed, because, again, to refute any of those claims that, really, we don't have enough charges. And, of course, we can always have more. And, again, but we don't want to overbuild, and we don't want to overcapacitate, I guess, and particularly when the big spike came at Easter. The rest of the time, it's pretty steady demand, as this chart shows, both in the inner regions and the outer regions as well.
Yeah, and I think, as we move forward into what is going to be probably the busiest summer in terms of the total number of EVs in the fleet on the road, as long as people are a little bit careful in terms of when they charge and what they do. I mean, last Christmas, there were a few hiccups, particularly in Victoria, with some vandalism of some cables and the rest of DC public chargers. But, I think we've learned from that. So moving forward, more infrastructure will be going in, including those larger Tesla sites as well, and they'll be incentivized. EV drivers will be incentivized to charge it.
We're going to interrupt there to announce an important guest who's joining us. He's been standing by. He's coming to us from the Northern Territory. Stan. Through the wonders of modern science, how are you?
Pretty good. Can you hear me?
No problem. Excellent. Hey, how are you feeling and how's it going?
It's been absolutely epic. really good. Everything's gone smoothly.
Mm.
Interesting, just now I rocked up to the Barclay Homestead, which is the middle point of a 500-kilometre stretch. It's the only place to charge, and all the powered sites are full. So it looks like I'm going to be here for 2 days, but it's not really sure. I'm not that up.
Hang on. I guess there, I've got the Barclay Homestead on the map next to us at the moment, in the middle.
Yeah.
Just, there it is, in the middle of nowhere. Unbelievable.
Truly the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
It's pitch black in Sydney, and probably all parts south, apart from Joe, and you're still in full sunlight, right?
It's just dusk. It's just the sun's just setting. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I just clocked over 13,000. Well, hang on. So I left with 6,000. So I've done about 7,000 Ks.
Yeah.
And so I'm almost the halfway point, pretty much. I went,
wow. How long has it been now? When did you leave? I can't remember. Just quick recap on when you left.
So today's day 15.
Okay. 2 weeks, yeah?
Yeah, 2 weeks basically. So I left Kangaroo Island, did the Great Ocean Road.
Yeah.
Went to southern New South Wales, saw my family. Then I did Sydney, Brisbane,
yeah,
Taree. Sorry, Sydney, Taree, Brisbane, Rockhampton, Townsville, Cairns, and then I cut across which is a bit different, cut across the Cape York.
Yeah. Straight across from Townsville, yeah?
From Cairns.
Oh, from Cairns. Wow.
Yeah, so up north basically.
Oh, I've got it on the map now. So straight across, and then cutting a bit further south again. So wow.
Cairns to Carumba, and then that's also no fast charging. That section was just charging at van parks and caravan parks. And we were just talking
about DC chargers around Australia, and not just Tesla, but all DC the charging network. But certainly up there, it looks like a challenge. So is that the biggest challenge at the moment?
So today was quite interesting because there's a brand new NRMA charger sitting at Camberwell, which is on the Northern Territory border.
I've got that. I've got that on the map. Yeah.
So that's been built by Illumina. It's sitting there and it's not connected. So had I been able to charge there so what I had to do today was when I rocked up there and realized it wasn't finished yet or not open, I went to the local mechanic and charged on 3-phase.
That was
my Zeekr gets 22 kilowatts. So I sat there for 2 hours, left Camberwell with 76% and drove 260 Ks to here, arrived with 27. And so the plan was to sit on 15 amp overnight. And then the next NRMA one is at 3-ways, which is 190 Ks from here. So I'm really only 50 Ks short.
Wow.
So I probably only need to 15 amp for probably 4 or 5 hours.
Stan Joe says, ask them to use the 32 amp 3-phase charger in the shed. You would be there faster and not charging at 15 amp. Apparently, Joe said that they've got a 32 amp 3-phase in the shed. All right.
Yeah, I spoke to Hunter today from Northern Territory AEV, and he explained to me that that was actually crowd donated to them. But they're not willing to let it. They don't want EVs to charge with it. So,
tell them if they do this, there'll be free publicity. All right, for the station.
They need it. I mean, it's so packed out here. That's the danger of doing the lap in winter because there's so many grey nomads. But because of the fuel price, there's actually less people on the road. Although tonight you wouldn't guess it. But at Carumba where I was. The managers there said they were down 25% on regulars because people aren't coming because of the fuel prices. But I guess this Barclay is kind of a crucial one. It's the only one in the middle of 500K, so there's no alternative.
Yeah,
that's why it packs out. And because I didn't get here until 5:30. When I checked in, I said, "Have you got a powered site?" She said, "No." I said, "How much did I miss it by?" And she said, "Half an hour."
Yeah,
so the last one went half an hour before I got here.
So you'll be there for a couple of days charging on the 15 amp. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to. What I'll do is as soon as someone leaves in the morning, and most
Yeah.
people aren't, they're just passing through. So people probably start leaving at 7 or 8.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll just go and plug in straight away as soon as
yeah.
the plug becomes available.
Is that the
Then
biggest? Is that the biggest challenge? Trying to find charges in some of the more remote spots and
yeah,
faster
so
charges to keep you going. Mm.
the fast charging situation is pretty good,
Yeah,
other than when they break. So this is the real yeah, this is the real challenge. This is the real challenging point,
yeah,
the Barclay stretch, and then the other really big challenging stretch is the Kimberley's Fitzroy crossing to Halls Creek.
yeah,
Those charges are smashed, and so the only option there is to 15 amp as well, and so that stretch might take 2 or 3 days.
yeah.
Whereas if you had access to fast charging, it might only take a day.
And
So,
quickly, how's the Zeekr gone? How's the Zeekr 7X gone?
oh yeah, it's magnificent. I've been passing road trains like nobody's business. Like 650 horsepower. There's no mucking around, and it's really super comfortable.
Yeah,
Massage, ventilated seats, and then up until 3 days ago, I was sleeping in it every night
yeah,
with camp mode,
yeah.
and that was all up the New South Wales coast, which was. Yep,
I know
that's
we've
the
got that.
mattress.
We've got that video, and people can watch that video of you as well as following all your blogs every day. But
Yeah,
they can
so
watch that video of you preparing and packing that camp bed in the back as well. Yeah. So
yeah. So I'm doing a daily vlog. So every day I upload a video,
yeah.
which is quite a bit of work. They're just like 15-20 minute videos, and I'm recording it during
Oh,
the day.
it's a great
And then
record.
take the dash cam. So
It's on YouTube. It's on
literally,
Facebook. Follow Stan. And
yeah.
where's next after you spend a couple of days there getting charged up? Are you heading up to Darwin?
Yeah, heading up to Darwin. There's 2 or 3 stops between here and Darwin. Daily Waters and
Got it on the map.
somewhere
Yep.
else.
You get it. Then Catherine after that looks about 2/3 of the way there.
Catherine,
Mm.
yeah, and then I think it's roughly about 1,200 k. So I've been.
I don't-
The other thing I didn't factor in is it's really short days at the moment.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't like to drive at night.
No,
So
oh, it's
I
too
can only
dangerous.
really drive until about 5 o'clock. So that means when I did the lap 2 years ago, I was driving 8 or 10 hours a day because I
Yeah.
did it in October. Now I'm only really driving 5, 6, 7 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's taking longer, and I really don't have any time to sightsee. People
Yeah,
are constantly saying, "Why don't you stop and see this? Why are you taking so fast?" But if you're going to do the lap in a month, you really have to drive every day.
yeah.
You
You've
can't
got to keep the
stop.
pace up.
Yeah.
And
So
I'll let you go. I'll let you go in a sec. And thanks for making the time. Have you seen any what wildlife have you seen? Kangaroos, camels? Mm.
lots of dead pigs on the road and lots of cows. Cows are the danger up. You don't really, and lots of tiny little wallabies.
Yeah.
Lots of bird life. So lots of wedgies and whistling kites.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but yeah,
Brilliant.
lots of wildlife and great scenery, and it's a great adventure just watching it all unfold. I can see it's getting dark now. You can see the sunset.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely beautiful.
There's all solar panels behind me because this is totally off grid.
Yeah.
So it's run by solar and a generator.
Is that right?
Yeah. So that's another reason that it's challenging is there's no
Oh,
grid power here at all. We are literally in the middle of nowhere. So
what a trip. So how many weeks to go? You're halfway, you reckon? 4 weeks now. So
yeah, I think it's gonna take 5 weeks.
Yeah.
To be realistic. So because I want to go down, and once I go through Perth.
Yeah.
So I'll go across from Darwin across to Broome.
Yeah.
And then down to Perth, and then I really want to do Esperance, Albany.
Yeah.
and then
All the way down
Longview.
the bottom.
So, yeah,
We'll catch
so
it.
it's probably
We'll
gonna
catch
take
it. We'll catch you in a
5
couple of
5
weeks. You might be south of Broome by about that stage. Yeah. Hopefully, maybe almost Perth.
I'll
Yeah.
probably Perth, I reckon, in a couple
Okay.
of weeks. So, yeah.
Thanks, Stan. Keep an eye out for Stan's
No worries.
vlogs on Facebook and YouTube. What a great trip, Stan. And I think
Awesome.
you've renamed it the Zeekr Big Lap, right? So
The Zeekr
yeah.
Big Lap, that's it. Yeah. On Kangaroo Island TV.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Twiggy
Thanks,
says
Stan.
hello.
Have a good trip.
Okay.
Stan from Kangaroo at Kangaroo Island, now from at the Northern Territory. That's just fantastic. We had him live. That was live. I'm live. He was live. He's just got into Barclay Homestead You can check it out on the map. I'm looking at it in Google Maps now. Barclay Homestead Wayside Inn, still about 1,000 k's to Darwin. He's just crossed into the Northern Territory. So absolutely fantastic. But look, brilliant night, kicking on with a bit of news. It has been a fantastic week for SpaceX. Of course, I didn't get any shares. I don't know who's got some shares. They're up and they're down. This is not financial advice, but look, at AmazingEV, we have got some different kind of X's, and it hasn't always been about SpaceX or X. Sometimes it was about the original Model X, and we've got two this week I wanted to show you. Check it out at AmazingEV, of course, our very own EV marketplace. It's free to list if you want to sell. If you know someone who wants to sell, these Model X's are now incredible value. One there, a 75D, which is the 75 kilowatt hour battery, 115,000 Ks, and a 100D with it's the long range, around the 60s and 65s. These are great cars. They're not building any more of them now. And again, you don't have to worry about SpaceX or X/Twitter. Have a look at the original Ground X, the Model X, and you'll find these might be the car for you. If you know someone who's looking for one, no more being built. Only 2,000 or 3,000 came to Australia. Love having these on the site. Don't forget, if you're listing, let me know. We certainly get the message out as much as we can. We'll do everything we can to let everybody know about your car for sale. Hey, we've got to settle in, grab a cup of coffee now for the next half an hour or so. We're crossing back to Riz, and we're checking out all those end of financial year deals that will just keep tempting us. So much to offer, so much range. Kick it off, Riz. Hey, Riz, thanks for joining me on the EV Marketplace on a Wednesday night. I almost forgot the name of my own show. So,
Good to be on, Roscoe. Yeah, I think we all remember now.
thank you. And happy EOFYS. So,
Oh, well, yeah, happy end of financial year to you too.
it seems to be a big deal out there in the car world, and we don't normally cover new car deals, but we are tonight, and I wanted to get you in on the action because, look, there's some incredible deals out there on new EVs, new cars in general. But there's a lot of competition. I want to talk a bit more about the competitive marketplace that we find ourselves, why these guys do these deals, how these deals look, what sort of permutations that they come in. And I guess, the main reason for you is for all the buyers out there is, let's look at some of the cars that are out there and what sort of deals they can get. You've only got maybe 10 days or less than that, a week now. But yeah,
Is the new Zeekr X?
and just cover off so that we can see exactly what we're looking at when we get to some of the examples, because it gets, again, some more and more inventive. And with probably the more complicated and complex is the novated lease discount. Some of the conditions are that the car has to be on a novated lease, so there might be an arrangement with a leasing company at a discounted rate. Again, have you've seen more of that action more recently, particularly with EVs?
Yeah, there's some manufacturers have exclusivity across offers through a particular novated lease operator. As you say, they can be as simple as here's a whole lot of money as a refund.
Yeah.
Or here's back in the day, it used to be fuel cards.
Yeah.
Get $1,000 of free fuel if you get it from, I don't know, Ampol or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still being offered on a lot of ICE vehicles. That some are dealer driven, some are manufacturer driven. But if we look at the electric cars, there's, free charges being thrown in.
Yeah,
You
okay.
have finance offers, as I said, and then there's complex sort of arrangements as well. You've got to go through a certain type of, you have to go through 20 financial services if you want to get a Toyota with X amount of dollars off. Those type of things.
And it used to be, I mean, look, often, as you say, fuel cards, often the deal was sweetened by a better trade-in. They couldn't move on the front end price, but they could, like you used to get a tank of gas if you bargained hard enough for some car mats. The currency now seems to be an EV charger, right? And maybe installation. I also noted those cashbacks. They're not a discount per se, are they? So you have to apply back to the
that's right. You have to apply to the
brand
manufacturer or the distributor.
Okay, all right. Now that's really interesting. And again, probably you'd say a lot of these cars have got to be in stock and delivered. The deal's got to be done in the next week if you're out there hunting. Yeah, they're normally operating in most cases on cars that are actually in stock currently. Yeah.
I think that manufacturers are getting more and more cleverer about the way they do this stuff. So there's a whole lot of, and as you say, when we go through the offers, I think the audience will get a pretty good glimpse of what's out there and the different type of incentives on offer.
Yeah. So let's have a look at Zeekr again. Who you would say is one of the more successful brands, doing really, really well in the last 6 months. Ups and downs, but they started off with a Zeekr X that probably wasn't as popular, didn't sell as well as they might have thought. So first up, we got the Zeekr X. There are some deals on that one as well. And does this look like the older one or the newer one? Because there is an upgrade on this one as well.
My understanding is this is the new Zeekr X. So it would, end of financial year sort of offer that they've got going on. There's, premium paint being offered. There's a whole lot of sort of other value being thrown in as well.
So complimentary servicing, 2 scheduled services. Yeah. That sort of thing is really important, I think, because the servicing, again, it does add up in the car ownership.
Yeah.
And there was already discounting more recently on this one from sort of mid-50s back to mid-40s anyway, wasn't there? And the new one's probably about the same sort of pricing?
Yeah, the new one sort of starts at under $50,000. So, look, it's quite a lot of car. It's probably one of the only cars that are rear-wheel drive with that sort of power, starting at that sort of price, with the amount of sort of plushiness in terms of interior and the rest.
Yeah.
And, of course, they've got an offer on the Zeekr 009, the big people mover as well.
That's up there. I hadn't had a closer look at that. Do you know much about that one? Because a friend of mine's just ordered the Denza people mover. He was very impressed with that. That was a very competitive price compared to the 009.
Yeah, the 009 is definitely aiming for that ultra luxury end. There is a $5,000 factory support bonus that's currently available, and it's a very expensive car, but it's for those that want it type of thing. And I think this people mover segment, it's worth keeping an eye on because there's a lot more models coming into this segment very shortly.
Yeah. Oh no, I want to go and have a look at that Denza because he's very excited about it, and that was closer to 110 on the road, so he was very excited about that completely. So, hey, moving along, and look, one of my favourites, and again, I had Volkswagens, I had Caddies all through my tradie life, and I do have a spot for Volkswagen vans, but I gave up waiting for a Volkswagen EV, unfortunately. This one came out, and look, it's just good to see there are some deals on some Volkswagens. Do you like? Have you driven the Buzz?
No, I haven't driven the Buzz. I actually know a good friend of mine that bought one because it was one of the only, one of the more affordable options. Maybe 6-12 months ago, if you wanted anything with more than 5 seats.
Look, I've got a soft spot for this, but some of the new van competitors around that 50, 55 grand mark. Yeah, whether they're people movers or vans, it's going to be competitive in that area. And
more and more stuff coming. And, ID Buzz is a good example that it came to Australia a little bit late, but then, Volkswagen is expanding their sort of electric lineup because, to be honest, they have to. Yeah. If they don't sell them, they're going to face big penalties, which is the same with a lot of the legacy car makers.
That's right, yeah.
So, why not? If you can price it and move it, it's a lot better than paying a fine.
Yeah, and again, the Buzz C offers on the Buzz Yeah, 72. That's a bit out of the market compared to some of the new offerings from Farazon and Kia.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's Anyway, look forward to more from Volkswagen too. I think that the new gen that's coming going to be a completely new direction. I'm excited about what they've got coming as well. But at the moment, yeah, they haven't kicked too many goals with the VW range in that price bracket, even with EOFYS deals. So plenty there if you want to have a look. And speaking with moving backwards in alphabetical order, Toyota, yeah, again, still hoping for more from Toyota. And again, look, all new for the new and demo BZ4X all-wheel drive, $7,500 deposit bonus for October build 25 builds. And these have done surprisingly well in the sales numbers, but they still must have a fair few that they need to clear out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Toyota's pretty fleet friendly, so fleets have purchased them as well as others dipping their toes into the EV space. I think it's $5,000 for the two-wheel drive version, but we sort of know what it's like. This car's seen an improvement over its previous generation one. It's got 150 kilowatts of DC charging. It's got 22 kilowatts of AC charging. There just appears to be quite a lot of offering there. So, yeah, I think for those that want a brand as big as Toyota, at least there's an offer in the market. And we're hoping to see more newer models like the Hilux BEV and possibly the electric CHR down the track.
Have you had a chance to drive the Hilux EV?
No, I haven't. Apparently, there's some sort of an event happening which I'll be away for. But I think I'm sure we'll start to see some reviews of that in the next couple of weeks.
And you think this is the new model, this one that they've got on the deal? This is the refresh. Yeah.
See, that's an interesting one because they're saying October 2025 build onwards, and I would think it's the newer model because. And this is cheaper than what it was back in the day, but of course you've got the deposit bonus on top of that as well. So just keep an eye out on what Toyota's doing in this space.
Do you think if you bought 99 Hiluxes, you got a free BZ4X as well as a fleet manager? Do you think on that?
Well, I would think so. I mean, Toyota would do a lot to keep their fleet managing customers in the good books. So you never know.
And from what I've seen in the US, I don't know about you, you probably keep a track of it. They've got 4 or 5 EVs of various sizes in the US, yeah?
Yeah, and then also the Chinese market. They've got the BZ3. They've got, I think, the BZ7, which has been a new one that is in collaboration with GAC, sort of like a Camry length sedan with all the cool EV tech. So, in certain markets, they're bringing out quite a few new models. So I think it's in their best interest to fast track those into our market,
we hope
price
so.
them competitively.
We wish them all the best. Quicker, the sooner the better. But here's another curious one. Again, you don't see much from Renault in Australia, but I've seen them at the shows. I've seen them, the Megane Techno, 50 grand. You had a closer look at these or not?
Yeah, look, I've sat in the shows. I think I should get behind the wheel of one. But it is quite interesting what Renault is doing in that space. The Megane E-Tech, of course, smaller sort of car.
Yeah.
50 grand's not a bad price. Obviously, it's a bit of a run-out deal, but it'd be interesting to see if there's a new model coming. But look, once again, we need a bit of variety, and I think this does offer a bit of variety in the space. European built, I think there's a market for that as well.
I know, I'm a fan. It's just that they always just seem never quite front and center, are they? This is a good deal. Again, would you buy this or the Zeekr X?
It's a bit of exactly. Like if you were looking for sort of a smallish SUV, you've got so many options. If you wanted something more powerful, then Zeekr X is the thing. If you wanted something that is a little bit more unique and European, then Renault is the way to go.
Yeah, and you're driving a BYD Atto 2 at the moment. This is it's only probably a fraction smaller than this. I don't think this is. Is this as big as a JQ-J5 maybe, or maybe it is?
I think it is as big as that, and Atto 2 is a little bit smaller once again.
Yeah, okay.
We're talking about this is $49,990 on a run-out deal, and Atto 2 with no discounting starts at about $35,000 drive away.
And we'll get to the JQ-J5. It's probably about the same size shortly. But yeah, I again wish them all the best. And again, they're probably desperate to have that Renault 5 here, aren't they? Really,
Yeah,
that's
big market.
even Shmee 150, the biggest rev head on YouTube, drives one of those, and a Skoda EV as well, by the way. But he loves his Renault 5 EV. So, and yeah, that's something they should have here at 50 grand, I reckon. But our perennial favourite, Polestar, still page not found. Still, that's not a great. That's not. We're not off to a great.
Look, they've still got deals going on. They've got, the Polestar 2. It's in its third iteration now. They've got a few deals on that, and Polestar 4s.
Yeah, and again, there's Polestar 4 end of limited offer, end of financial year. Estimated delivery July 1, but you can order it in deal now, 85 down from 97. A great car. I'm seeing more and more on the road in Sydney. I don't know about Melbourne.
Yeah, they're selling. I mean, Polestar 4 is sort of their best-selling car. It's a lovely car to drive.
Yeah.
Software could be improved, which I'm hoping it will be, which is, over the year. But the rest of it, I think, was a beautiful car to drive. Yeah.
It's coming out of the Geely stable. I mean, you just want this brand to do well, right? This maybe should have been the replacement for the 2.
Well, look, they have done consistently in the last 12 to 18 months with this model there. Polestar 3 sales a little bit slow. Polestar 2 is sort of chugging along, but this model is sort of what's keeping them afloat at the moment. So, I'm sure we're going to see a whole lot more of them on the road, but, and the next model that's coming, Polestar 5, I don't think at the prices that it's going to start at, close over 200 grand drive away. I don't think you get about 2.5 of these for that surprise. So
I know this is scary. There was a Polestar 3 there for 172,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
I know someone who tried to buy one and they were getting closer to 120 on it, but that was that's another story. But I think most of the Polestar 2s, honestly, Splend ended up buying for Uber. They probably taken over half them. But yeah, again, I wish them all the best. I'd love to see that just maybe 10 grand cheaper. Maybe at 58, that 68 is getting close to good long range. Yeah, it's a really nice car, isn't it? Yeah. All the best to Polestar, and want to see more. And again, speaking of wishful thinking, have you seen Nissan Ariya on the road? Or
I've seen a few, or maybe because
I've seen one. Yeah.
No, you've seen one. Yeah. I'm fortunate enough. I work pretty close to Nissan's head office, so I do see a few around. But they haven't had the sales success they were hoping. I did the launch in August last year. To be perfectly honest, if it was priced sort of 10 grand cheaper than what it is,
same.
It's a good car. Like there's no bings and bongs.
Yeah.
Even though this is a couple of years old, it's well balanced, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
I think the model I had 22 kilowatt AC charging, which for someone that has a charger at work, it's great. But yeah, there were a lot of things going right for it, but I think there's a new version coming. There's, Nissan's got some plans in potentially the new Leaf, but also bring a fair few models out of what they sell with Dongfeng in China.
Yeah.
So watch this space. I don't think this will be the last end of financial year offer from Nissan, but, I'm sure we'll be back here in 12 months' time talking about new models.
Yeah, and I'm a bit confused. 1% finance, again, they can do it in various ways. They can offer discounted finance rate. Again, 2.9%. Maybe it's a different model. Free home charger. Again, that's great. So some incentives
My
there.
understanding is to existing customers. So existing Nissan buyers get 1%, and across the range you get 2.9%.
So if you own one already, yeah. And again, much word on the Leaf, on the release of the new Leaf here in Australia.
On and off, but I mean, it would be in Nissan's best interest to have it, but maybe the strategy is let's bring the stuff that's selling well in China over.
Yeah, exactly. Because are these Japanese made, to your knowledge, or not?
These are Japanese made.
Yeah. And so they've got that they've got that Renault, the Twingo variant.
Partnership thing, yeah.
What's the small one called? The Nissan one?
Duke?
No, the small
Oh,
Renault.
the Hatch Micra.
Yeah, the Micro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, if they couldn't, they got to do it for 35 grand. There's no way. But it's. I just think they led that market with the old Nissan Leafs, and then they upsized it, and the market just needed something small and compact like that Mark I original Nissan Leaf. Could have gone gangbusters, but deals there to be had if you want a Nissan Leaf. Oh, there it is. Arrive 63 Engage 53,990. That's not bad.
I guess the way I look at it is someone that was in the market for a mid to high spec X Trail. If they went and drove the X Trail and they drove this, if they were happy with the EV experience, then at those prices they're not bad, because we have to also remember ICE vehicle prices have gone up since COVID as well.
I've seen a few other internet commentators suggesting that there's still a big EV premium, but it's either very, very close now or it's disappeared. I don't see it. When I'm doing some research for this, looking at some of the deals of the ICE cars back to back for some of the models, 50, 60 grand for an SUV. Standard now, ICE or petrol, ICE, EV or petrol, yeah. Mazda CX-6E, I'm not sure if this is a end of financial year deal or whether it's a pre-order 3,000. Have you had a chance to drive this one?
No. Sorry. This one, yes, just on the track. But great car, made in conjunction with Chang'an, so the big Chinese car maker. I think that offer they had, the introductory offer, it was a free upgrade to the top of the range vehicle. It looks gorgeous in person. I can see them sell quite a lot. The concerning part here is that offer was sort of put out for the first 1,000 orders. So unless they've extended that, which could be the case, but then this means that either they haven't even had 1,000 pre-orders on it, or they've had those and they're just extending it out as part of some sort of an ongoing offer.
So am I getting confused? This is the SUV, isn't it? It's not the sedan.
This is the SUV.
This is the second one coming. So the CX-6E is the SUV version, which I think is...
and the 6E is the sedan.
6E is okay. So I think this is a lot more attractive, and I don't know what the expected price was on this. What they were?
It was from memory. It was 51 and 54.
Okay, well,
52 and 55 plus.
That's pretty good.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it's at, right? Bringing the sedan out first is fine, but the Mazda 6 had gone from the range anyway, hadn't it? The petrol version a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not.
SUVs is where it's at. 60% of the passenger market at least. This is where you want to be, and this is again, this will be interesting because again, this is the SUV. That's probably not my color, but 3,000 off pre-order on that one. Again, you think that might have been the first 1,000, and they haven't got to 1,000 yet.
Well, I'm hoping they have, and this is an extension because they really need to sell this car.
Yeah. Moving on to Hyundai, which again did so well with the original Ioniqs, the 5 and the 6, and has the 6 been dropped completely now?
My understanding is it's still around. Well, they've just launched the 6N, so But the Kona Electric's got an offer at the moment. 40-odd thousand, 45,990 starting price. Insta's got an offer, but they're all sort of there. It's a matter of what's available in stock.
Look, I love the Ioniq 5. It was always Lancia Delta-esque to me. I was very tempted. It was probably up there in terms of price when I was looking around. I ended up paying up for a Tesla Model Y, but I was fascinated by this car and the shape. And then a couple of iterations down the track. This one's had $5,000 off it, 71,990 drive away, still up there, and not a huge change, but I'm disappointed that the Ioniq range hasn't been extended. I know they just released one in China, a pretty radical looking Ioniq.
I look forward to seeing that one. In some ways, the cars are still great. They drive well, but they are starting to show their age a little bit. Like, this is 3-4 years old now. Kona Electric is a bit newer than the Ioniq.
Kona's tidy but pretty. Yeah, you probably were hoping to be paid 10 grand less for that overall. That's the place to be. And yeah, Insta, I'd be paying 25 grand for that stuff. It's got Picanto all over it, Kia Picanto written all over it. I've seen a couple on the road, and I think they're smaller than they look.
They are smaller than they look, and they're fun to drive. But once again, you know, you're not going to pay 40 grand for a Picanto sort of sized car. So yeah,
that's a better deal again. But yeah, and I think they have had strong demand over the last quarter, no doubt. But yeah, there's competition, and the Elixio, I've seen that again out there. Nothing out there really on that one. But again, I would have liked to have seen the design language of the Ioniqs progress rather than the Kona's bigger brother, right? Yeah, that's Elixio's Kona's big brother, not Ioniq's 5's big brother. So anyway, they seem to have fallen away a bit, whereas Kia kicked on big time, right? Really amazing how they've not my favourite shaped car, I've got to tell you.
Yeah, they've really sort of started the big campaign at Australian Open.
Yeah.
And they've sort of just kicked on with it and had multiple sort of drive away offers on the base models of EV3 and EV5.
Yeah. This is good. I mean, it's still expensive compared to the Chinese. There's no doubt about it. Again, JQ, J5 back to back, 10 grand less. But yeah, Kia's still got a good reputation. There's no doubt about it. And yeah, they seem to have kicked on. It's that boxy shape. I've seen a couple, and they're, again, smaller than it looks, but the EV5 bigger than it looks in the photos. But this is the pricing is pretty close. I think one's made in China and one's made in Korea. Yeah.
Yeah, the EV5 is made in China. Yeah.
Okay, so that's tending to be a bit cheaper. So they're doing some deals on this one. Look, again, on the secondhand market, I don't know what your experience is, but I find that some of the premium packages, the upscale packages like the Earth and the GT and the long range just aren't getting the return on the secondhand market, especially in the first 1 or 2 years. People just aren't getting that back again. It was similar with Tesla, and there's they're not paying like you used to load up with an old normal OEM and get this pack and that option, and you get it back on the used market. But people just aren't differentiating on the secondhand market like they used to.
Yeah, I've driven the EV4. It's I think it's a nice car. Obviously, it's got a lot of the Kia EV3, EV5 sort of interior to it, and on the roads they do stand out as well. But I guess the thing is, though, it's as you said earlier, it's a SUV dominated market. So
yeah. Happy EOFYS, $1,000 deposit contribution on all the stock. Deals galore is.
Yeah.
And then even Leap Motor, like again, not done as well. Like for like, the C10 probably not too different from the Geely EX5, and yet okay, good deal on this 8.88% insurance finance rate. I think is that on the hybrid or is that on the EV?
Well, EV's got there's lots of offers on EV stock as well. So keep an eye out on the Leap Motor dealers. There's definitely offers on, because I don't think they're selling as many as they would have liked.
Yeah. And again, bit disappointing because, this was nice, but just, I don't think it's stylish. But EX5 Geely wasn't a style icon. There wasn't a lot to choose between the two of them. I saw them back to back at one of the dealerships up here in Sydney, one of the Stellantis dealerships that had Leap Motor and Geely, and there wasn't a lot between them. But Geely EX5's kicked on. Leap Motor hasn't done as well. Who knows? It's a fickle market, right? The B10's the new one, probably more Atto 2 size, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. And you've driven one of those?
No, I haven't driven the B10, but big fan, and I'm hoping I can, but it's getting a bit old now already. It's been showcasing it since probably September, October last year.
Yeah, a B10's coming in at probably Atto 2 pricing as well. Yeah,
37 drive away.
37, yeah, okay. That's good. Again, They've got to spend the money. The competition's strong. They've got to get the message out there. Going from Leap motor to Jeep motor, haven't seen much of this one. 40 grand for the events along the tune. I might have seen one, I think, maybe at a motor show. So,
yeah.
Anyway, there is a deal. If you're a Jeep fan, 40K drive away on an Avenger longitude. And we'll leave it at that and move on. One of the biggest selling small cars in Australia. It is. I've seen them on the road in black. I've seen them on the road in silver, and I'm a fan of the way it looks. And I haven't driven one. What do you think of the JQ J5?
Just such an easy car to recommend to people. You've got a budget under 40 grand. You want something that is as fully featured. No frills attached.
Yeah,
one variant. Buy a J5 EV, and they've seen that. They're obviously still delivering on the 36,990 drive away offer.
There it is, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that car, even when I first drove it about 6 months ago, that car should probably still sell in reasonable numbers, even if it was above 40 grand.
Yeah.
But they've kept it at that, and they're getting some really, really solid volume off the back of that. And it looks like a mini sort of Land Rover. So,
there's no doubt about it. And a bit more style and just a bit more, and a good price at mid-30s, right in the sweet spot. Yeah, really, I know. It's got all the recipes for success, EV or not. It's a great car, great looking car. JQ, again, talk about the propensity of Australian buyers to just jump onto brands and not have brand loyalty. This is a great example.
The brands that know what they're doing. So JQ, of course, is a Cherry brand.
Yeah.
JQ has over 60 dealers now.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, they came out of nowhere. So this is what we're talking about. That the tech and stuff works. It's credible.
Yeah.
It's full legit. They've had thousands of sales already. At one stage, they had over 4,000 pre-orders.
Yeah.
So this thing is flying off the shelf, and still at 37 grand, it's really easy to recommend to anybody.
I've seen one on the used market so far and had a chat to a guy, but yeah, he sold it. No problem at all. So I can't wait to see all these cars on the used car. We're going to have such an incredible choice on the used EV market. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the JQ J5. And Dave from Beyond EV had just done a feature on that. Check out his. I'll put a link down below as well. He's just done a full review on this one as well. He loves it as well. And then Geely, yeah. Again, these brand names, again, they've gone from nothing to having dealership outlets all over Australia. If there's 60 dealerships for Cherry and JQ around Australia, it means people are asking, and the dealers know a good deal, and they know what they can sell something.
Well,
Same with Geely. I've seen Volkswagen. This was Geely. Leichhardt was Geely Volkswagen. They've jumped on board as well.
Well, the brands that are selling, right? So this EX5, it's had a recent refresh, but all in all, it sold over 8,000 of them.
Yeah.
It's not a small feat given brand awareness and building the brand and all of those sort of things. So they're doing quite a few things right.
Yeah.
They've got a mixture of offers at the moment for June. They've got a low interest rate. They've got free EV charger. They're just
it's amazing.
They've got a revolving list of incentives that they offer every couple of months. So yeah, definitely.
It's a big saving, 0.88% interest rate on finance. I mean, no financial advice here, but that is a few grand over a few years. Like seriously, there's nothing like seeing your finance, your car loan come down quick when you've got a 0.88% finance rate, and every payment goes towards paying the actual car off, not the interest. Wow, free charger. That is brilliant. That one, EX5, 6% off vehicle price, different deal. A couple of deals there on EX5s, even though, again, one of the best-selling SUVs, still deals. They can't help themselves. Brilliant. Again, the refresh on that one does look a bit tidier than it was before on the outside. I could not tell you what's different, but it looked maybe new wheels.
I had it last week. They have a new paint color. They've got a darker green. They've got few software updates on the inside. They've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto coming as standard now, and a bigger battery with more range. They're the key highlights.
Same price, yeah.
I think it's $1,000 more, but pretty close to it.
Yeah. That's a lot more for only $1,000. And those deals,
Yeah.
those finance deals, it makes a huge difference. They are doing well. And then again, Aon, again, seen a couple of those around, but not a lot really. And again, it's not side profile Land Rover-esque, but yeah, front profile, not quite doing it for me. Is this about Atto 2 size, or is it bigger as well?
It's a bit bigger. It's more of a Geely EX5 size.
Okay.
So this is actually cheaper than the Geely EX5.
Okay.
GAC, make around 2 million cars a year. They've got quite a few offers. They want to get to 100 dealers in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So, definitely not a small brand. GAC is Guangzhou Automotive Company. If you go to the cultural capital of south of China, which is Guangzhou in terms of its history and sort of the future, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
GAC is everywhere, and Ion Vs, and the UT, also the hatchback. That
I know. I've seen that. I've seen that one around already. That's a nice looking car. That's cute, right?
It's nice looking. It's very spacious. There's a few, like for the price, 33 grand. You're getting over 400 kilometers of range. You're getting, it's a lot of value. There's a few software things that, this car's been out for a couple of months that I'm sure GAC will fix. But apart from that, take one for a test drive and see what you think. The dealer network is growing.
I thought that was, I think this is very cute. And somewhere between Suzuki Swift and Mini, somewhere a good mix of the whole lot, and stylish, and a bit more stylish than the Dolphin for me, the BYD Dolphin. But yeah, again, it's all personal preference. They've toned some of those color combos back on the Dolphin, haven't they? It's a bit more stock standard silver, white, gray, isn't it? So, but this is a nice color. This is a nice looking car. Seen one of these too. Looking forward to driving that one. So GAC deals on that. This is spinning on the website, 55% back to 32,990, free charger, 1,000 cashback. So deals galore on that. And of course, our perennial favorites, as we move backwards through the alphabet, Cadillac. You can get a Cadillac Lyric. They're committed, and it's 95,000. Any further comments?
No. Look, if you're looking for a Cadillac, you don't need a comment from me. Basically, just go and test drive one, and if you like it, buy it.
I saw one on the road the other day. I can vouch for that. I've seen one on the road. It was black, and I barely noticed it. So, good luck. So there are deals. Drive away, 95. We'll leave it at that. As we approach BYD do have a few deals, despite the fact that the ship arrived, everything was sold out.
That's right.
There's a couple of BYD pure electric Atto ones with a good lease deal. A lot of the hybrids have better deals, but I'm not going to cover that. We're hybrid free here still. But there are some deals on Atto 1s and 2s if you're novated leasing, and that's about it. You're driving an Atto 2 at the moment, Riz. Yeah. You like it?
Really, really liking it. I think it's the right car at the right price.
Yeah.
For most city electric car buyers.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't need the huge amount of space, it's a great car.
Yeah.
Find the charge port is in the right location. I find just, quite a few different things about the car. It's just the right sort of vehicle. And I'm hoping that it can only get better from here. And it's priced right. So all of these offers, maybe if the market does start to soften, then we might see more EV offers from BYD. But for now, they're selling everything they've got.
I can see some pricing coming down on the BYD range. Primarily because so many different models, so much option, and a bit of crossover between range models as well is my main issue. Starting to get crossover between, and where you're getting that, it's going to make it difficult outright decision. Not to mention all the others competing in that mid-30s space as well, right? And then getting close to the business end, BMW. Yes, there's some deals there. Of course, the iX3, everyone's getting very have you got your order in for the iX3?
Oh, look, if I was looking for a luxury car brand, that BMW iX3, I've done the static review for. Fantastic car. I just think out of the Audi, Mercedes, BMW's got quite a lot going for it.
Yeah.
The iX3 is doing a roadshow at the moment, but
Yeah.
I believe it officially goes on sale by this week. So by the time this video goes live,
Yeah.
that would be up for sale within that week itself. So yeah, BMW still got offers on. They've got a whole lot of new product coming in, and yeah, as they say, they still are, even in the EV era. They can still claim to be the ultimate driving machine.
I
And that's
agree.
what they
Yeah.
aim for.
I'm impressed and I congratulate BMW. Yeah, well, 25% odd penetration on new cars with EVs, pure EVs, quietly doing stuff like the iX1, the old iX3 that looked like they were BMWs. They weren't too modern, like the iX was a bit of an outlier, an expensive outlier. But the rest of the iX3 and the iX1 looked a bit more BMWs, small SUVs, had the EV option there, and people love them. So I think they've done really well, and I think they're best placed out of the old-fashioned luxury brands to do really well, and looking forward to more success as well. They seem to be committed and really strongly in R&D as well, and new models coming out. So with the 3 Series sedan we'll have the iX3 coming. Then there'll be no doubt they'll have the iX1 not far away. The new iX1 coming. Deals on BMWs, if you want one. Lots of people I know who own BMWs have been called up about the iX3. I'm amazed it came here so quickly, right? Given that they've sold they sold 100,000 already in Europe.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to. It's going to do pretty well, and then they've got a whole lot of the i3, the sedan that's going to be coming out, and the bigger SUV range as well. So watch this space. I think at the moment the offers they have, they won't have too much stock left.
We're going to end on a happy note. I was going to end on the Alfa Romeo Junior EV, which again at 50 grand. My first car was an Alfa Sud, complete rust bucket. So it looked a bit like that, except it was I paid $5,000 too much for it. It only cost me $4,999. So I've still got a soft spot for it. I'd love to love these. Mrs. Amazing's Italian, and there's probably not much Italian about this car, but again, I don't think I've seen one on the road. I don't know how many they've sold. Sadly, they couldn't help themselves. They brought a petrol version of it as well. But yeah, at 50 grand, tempted, and for all its quirks and all Doug DeMiro's features. Thanks, Rez. Hey, have a great trip. Thanks for joining me. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of good deals out there. This is a good way to look at the market. And yeah, there's a lot of competition, a lot of models, and they won't be far from the used market either very quickly as well. So
exactly. Thanks for having me on, and look forward to the next one.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing what you've been up to in China. And thanks very much. It's always a pleasure. Good to see you. Thanks, Rez. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was Rez Akhtar. He's on his way to China tonight. He joined us for some EOFYS deals, end of financial year specials on the Australian market. We've had a lot of fun because it gives us a chance to reflect and go back and look at the market, and it's pretty competitive. There's some good deals out there. You've got a week, but I'm sure you can nab yourself something. If not, check out some of the used EVs on AmazingEV, and we'll go out tonight and leave you to have a look at some of what we've got on the market at the moment. Some Model X's, Model Y's, plenty of Model 3s, getting good prices at the moment. These new cars are keeping them very competitive. I'm Roscoe, and we look forward to seeing you next time.